Happy Father's Day. You guys try so hard at your job that we're gonna be tryhards too. So hold on to your butts. In a moment, because we gotta go to a Christian song first.
You say you love me, but how could you when I ran so far? And still you want me when I lose sight of where you are. But it only took a moment with you, a glimpse of life with purpose. And I knew that living where the light is, oh Lord, is exactly where you want me, and I never want to. So I'm gonna stay in your presence, sing of your love forever, dance like I did that day when I caught a glimpse of you. I'll get a little bit desperate to run into the arms of heaven, all of my life surrendered, 'cause I caught a glimpse of you. I caught a glimpse of you. And you are for me when the moments when I lose my way. And you surround me with your mercy and your endless grace. But it only took a moment with you, a glimpse of life with purpose. And I knew that living where the light is, oh Lord, it's exactly where you want me, and I never want to. So I'm gonna stay in your presence, sing of your love forever, dance like I did the day when I caught a glimpse of you. I'll get a little bit desperate to run to the arms of heaven, all of my life surrendered, 'cause I caught a glimpse of you. I caught a glimpse of you. I caught a glimpse of you. I caught a glimpse of you, yeah. I caught a glimpse of you. I wanna lift you forever. This heart is yours. Why would I run and hide when mercy has covered all? I give my life to you. For all that you are is all I want, God. It's all I want. So I'm gonna stay in your presence, sing of your love forever, dance like I did the day when I caught a glimpse of you. And I'll get a little bit desperate to run to the arms of heaven, all of my life surrendered, 'cause I caught a glimpse of you. I caught a glimpse of you. I caught a glimpse of you, yeah. I caught a glimpse of you. I caught a glimpse of you.
Hello, Radius on YouTube. We did some focus groups for Father's Day, and we found that fathers really aren't engaging with church. They like to, watch football instead. Masculine things that are very stereotypical. So all of this information is for those that really want the information, but this is for the dads, whatever's happening back here. So welcome to Radius, and if this is your first time, how'd you find us? Because there's a lot of churches online right now. But Radius is a church So Radius is a church for people that are convinced that churches are relevant. No matter where you are in your life journey, no matter what's in your past, you're welcome here. New people, we want to give you an incentive to click away. Not dads still up here. We want to give you something. So all you have to do is go to radius.church and click the I'm New button. You give us your information, we'll give you a Starbucks gift card, and that's our way of saying we hope we can meet over a mediocre cup of coffee at a convenient location someday. In-person gatherings next week on Saturday, June 26th at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. We got 2. That's right. We had 1. Now we have 2. That's twice as many. So if we wanted to use percentages, that's a huge increase, but a small number. We have our first in-person gathering since for some reason we stopped. We'll be at Story City Church in Burbank, but in person means you need to be there in person. Again, click away from this video and click on radius.church. Just use the internet. It says it down here. If you intend to go, just let us know. That way we know who's going to be there, and if we need to do a third service, we would love to be able to do that. This helps us know who's going to be there and make sure that we can be as safe as possible, and also make sure that I don't have to run into that many people and talk to them that often, because I like this, not like the face-to-face stuff, just in general, not pandemic related. Anyways, just go to radius.church, click on things. The website can do my job is basically what it is, but I can't do this. Look at this. Look at this. How about this? You're welcome, fathers. So here's the deal. We're not going to be live streaming this, so you have to be there in person. We're not going to GoPro it and be like, oh, look, you're kind of there, and it's like Second Life if you're from the 90s. We're not doing that. You have to be there in person. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on it. But we will still have our regular online services available that week too. If you want to serve, make sure you sign up at this radius.church/volunteer or talk to your Move Maker team lead for more information. Who is Jesus? That's not just a question, but I am curious if you answered it. That's the title of our next series, and it starts next week, and it highlights differences between Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, and it puts them in these hypothetical feats of strength where they fight each other and see which one wins. That's not how it's actually going to go, but it's going to be very interesting nonetheless. You're going to at least want to catch one of these episodes because you don't want to miss it. And this is also a great opportunity to invite people, friends, family, just somebody to hold you accountable, because we know you're just watching these in the background and not really taking it in. If you're new, this next part isn't for you because it's a secret, so fast forward to a timestamp somewhere, probably here. And it's about giving, and it's actually our policy to ask you not to give. But if you call Radius your home and want to give where your heart is, text Radius LA to 77977 or go to radius.church/give. There's several ways your generosity can help make a difference, just like having these things, or these things, or this. And it can also go to things like supporting kids in foster care, either or. 6 of one, half dozen the other. Let's make our community a better place to live by not being greedy people. All right, that's it. Hello, and welcome to a new segment we're calling Pulling Your Pulpit. I'm joined today with the pastor of radius.church.la, Dr. Reverend Joseph Barkley King Jr.
Hi, it's good to be here.
You wearing black?
Yeah, I thought...
I'm in black too. Can we change him?
Should I? I did bring another shirt.
Yeah, go get that.
Okay. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I think, is this better?
Hot Pockets. What is it like being Justin Bieber's pastor?
Actually, I've never had the privilege of meeting Justin. I know some of the guys that pastor churches he's gone to before,
but he's not here.
No,
Okay.
No.
Chris Pratt, is he as funny in person as he is on TV?
I wouldn't know. He seems like a genuinely funny guy, and
no famous people?
Well, obviously being a pastor in LA, you run across, people that some people have heard of before, and in Radius, there's a few people that, maybe some of your audience may be familiar with, but I don't know that that's appropriate to talk about.
Those were the names I had, and I don't know more famous people than them.
Okay.
A lot of people talk about your appearance.
Was that Rasputin?
Looks about the same. Who dresses you?
Well, if you think I look good at all, I always tell people it's probably my wife's fault. Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, today, I picked out this shirt.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Hey, bold. That's a bold statement.
Thanks.
They come in 2-packs. You're welcome to have one.
Oh, yeah, thanks, I'm fine.
Okay.
Are we rolling? Is this the interview?
Well, do you have somewhere to be? When Radius opens back, those eyes are very blue. Would you mind just closing them for this next question? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. When Radius opens, will you use other bald, bearded men as satellite pastors?
I mean, yeah, if they're qualified to serve people, and I love sharing the platform with all kinds of voices. Oh, sounds like your food might be ready.
Yeah, that's your cue to open your eyes as well.
Okay.
That is hot pocket.
We can take a break if you want to.
Oh no, it needs 2 minutes to cool.
Oh.
So when we're back in person, who is the last person you will hug? Bible talk.
Great.
David was a warrior turned king. Samson repeatedly defeated the Philistines single-handedly. Simon Peter was a fisherman, and Jesus was a carpenter.
Yeah.
Joseph Barkley wore eyeliner.
Yeah. I mean, for a little bit, I was a musician, right? And that's it was sort of par for the course. Like a lot of touring musicians, you need to stand out a little bit. And
just your eyes?
I wore eyeliner when I met my wife, and she seemed okay with it.
She's also the one that does stuff like this, too. A lot of people describe your parenting as Brene Brown-esque, unnecessarily vulnerable.
Okay.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put your parenting?
Well, I'd like to think I'm doing an okay. I mean, I'd like to think that if maybe it's fine. Yeah.
Interesting choice. Agreed, but
I feel
interesting.
like I had a choice in that one.
A lot of people describe you as a dad who is absent, a complete monster, effortless, or without effort and caring. Malevolent. What words would you like to add to that list?
Where's that list from?
It's just a list that we got.
I'd like to think trying hard. Loving, maybe? I don't know. I don't like that list at all. I'd love to know who shared that.
Just a lot of people. A lot of people are saying that.
Okay. Well.
Since you like to give advice, what would you tell parents about what they could do better than you have?
Oh. Well, all kinds of things. I oftentimes have let my emotions kind of overly influence how I respond to my... my parenting, so I like to use a little bit more of my head than my heart sometimes. Children are obviously an extremely precious opportunity to... Yeah, okay.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Joseph.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, that's fine. Well, I hope you get the sense that we don't take ourselves too seriously. And I certainly try not to take myself too seriously in Radius. But every single Father's Day, I do feel like I always want to dedicate just a little bit of time to speak up for dads just a little bit more. I've had the privilege of being a dad for over 15 years. And yeah, I've had some dumb moments. But I think we need to stop expecting dads to be just another one of the kids, right? Because most dads I know are trying so hard to be great fathers. And that word right there, father, that brings up something else for us, right? When we think of dad, it's easy to remember dad bods, or we think of, dad brains or dad jokes, but father feels greater. It feels more significant, which is why I think it weighs so many guys down, and why having a bad dad or maybe no dad around leaves an enormous gap in our lives. So I don't want to talk about dad bods and dad brains anymore. I want to talk about the dad gap, because the fact is, we all need a father. Now, whatever you think about God, the Jewish scriptures and the teachings of Jesus and the correspondence between the first Christians that we can still be reading today, they seem to paint the picture of God as a perfect parent, specifically a perfect father. Like the lyrics of this ancient song, and this is all the Psalms are, is lyrics of songs. The Lord is compassionate and merciful, slow to get angry and filled with unfailing love. He will not constantly accuse us nor remain angry forever. He does not punish us for all our sins. He does not deal harshly with us as we deserve, for his unfailing love toward us, or rather toward those who fear him, is as great as the height of the heavens above the earth. He has removed our sins as far from us as the east is from the west. And again, you might not be sure that God exists, but this description here is a pretty great profile of a father. For instance, great fathers have long fuses. I think when you have kids, you do lose a little bit of your brain capacity. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever that we get mad at our kids for not being like other kids. That's absolutely nuts, right? Or when we tell our kids that they can be absolutely anything that they want to be, as if we have never had to face the fact that we will, never be a professional ninja. Or this is one of my favorites. We get mad at our 5-year-olds for not acting like 35-year-olds. Like, you should be able to, metabolize your trauma in more productive ways, sweetheart. We get so mad so fast, and it's so unhelpful. But what if that meant getting angry, but it takes so long? God's anger, as it's described here in this song, takes so long because he wants you to know how loved you are and how much potential you have. He wants to enjoy the benefits of following better ideas instead of just trying to make it all up on your own and facing constant disappointment and despair. God's anger takes so long because he wants life for you more than he wants death. And anger ends things. And fathers, I think, in contrast, can create things. Another piece of this profile from this song is great fathers have really short memories. One of my biggest challenges when I'm arguing with my wife or I'm trying to discipline my kids is that I want to get historical. Not hysterical. I didn't misspeak. I am so tempted to get historical. I want to load up the present with everything that I know about the past. Like, don't you remember the 43 other times you've done exactly this? But in my better moments, I think, what possible good would that do? The only thing that would do is communicate to them that this must be who they are, and it's impossible for them to make a different choice, impossible for them to change. But what if father, the kind of father I'm trying to be, what if father meant choosing to have a short memory? God remembers less of your past than the internet. You might carry that stupid post that you made 12 years ago for the rest of your life into every new job opportunity that you have, but God's already ready to forget it. With great dads, like this profile of God, forgiveness is always first, and it's always ready, and it's always waiting. Change starts with complete forgiveness and a short memory, and great fathers don't wait for you to change for them to forgive. And maybe it's because great fathers also have a thick skin. What if father, the word father, actually means covering over a multitude of sins? What if it meant knowing there's so much that I could react to, and so much that I could get defensive about, or so much that I could punish, but not needing to do those things? God doesn't respond from hurt feelings or from annoyance. God doesn't need you to perform for him. God isn't trying to tidy us up. He's trying to make us free. And that's an amazing Father. Because see, one more thing I want to say about great fathers is great fathers have big hearts. What if every time you think of the word father, you think of love so great for you that it can't be measured? What if every time you think of the word father, you think of love so powerful that it would conquer anything just to rescue you? What if every time you think of the word father, you think of love so vast that you can't deplete it? Even a love so vast for the enemies of this love that it can't be depleted. Every swing that you take and every insult you hurl and every doubt that you have and every sin is only met with more and more and more love. And sometimes that love is going to feel like surgery for sure, but it's always love. Now, when you hear these qualities, whether you're a father today or whether you're not, it's clear. We all need this. We all need a father. Dads, what I want to say to you is we need you. We absolutely need you. But this is a call not just to you, dads, but to all men who could be mentoring maybe, or be a big brother in some way, or maybe be a surrogate dad or a grandfather. And I'll tell you, men serving with kids and youth is one of the most influential spots that we have in this community of Radius. And ladies have told me that it's about the sexiest thing they've ever seen. I don't know about that, but I'll have to take their word for it. But we all need a father, even fathers. But to be more specific, I think we all actually need a perfect father. Dads, you, like me, may long to be a better father to your children and show more of the qualities that I was going over in this few minutes here. But I strongly urge you, dads, to rely on a father who loves them far more than either of us can. Pray desperately for him. And not just that your kids will know God's love through you, but that you will know how much you're already loved by your Father. But hey, everyone joining us right now is living with some sort of a dad gap. And there's no question about that. I don't care how great your biological dad or your stepdad was, he failed you on some level. I am failing my kids on some level. Each of us has a gap between how much love we've gotten from our dads or from our moms or our spouses, from each other, and the love that we crave. That hole in your life doesn't mean that you are inadequate. It just means that you're unsatisfied. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve the love that you still need. It just means that you need more love than any human could ever give you. God promises to be the perfect Father for all of us. See, we actually believe that our deepest glitch as humans is interpersonal, that we are estranged from a person with whom we're supposed to be living. We are estranged from God. Your soul is looking for someone, and that deepest longing has a name. A person who spanned impossible distances between a rebellious world and her creator. A person who went to death, not as just some dramatic gesture, not just as a martyr, but a complete satisfaction of all of the debt that we have incurred with our lives. So there can be a place for us with our Father. Listen, becoming a Christian isn't joining a religion, and that's fine. But that's just another way of keeping life predictable. That's what religion is. You kind of know what grade you're getting by how many rules you're able to keep. But becoming a Christian, actually all that means is concluding that your soul is too ravenous to settle for anything less than God. And then just finding out that you can have him. And so for the dads that are joining us, and for all of us who are living with some distance between the love that we need and the love that we've enjoyed from the people in our lives and the dads in our lives, I want to pray. And I want to pray that we would seek in God the thing that we long for the most. Father, thank you for being perfect for us. Thank you for filling in, standing in those enormous lacks that we feel, the gaps in our lives between the love that we crave and the love that we've received from each other. You are the perfect God who has a thick skin and a short memory and a long fuse and an undepletable love, a huge heart. Thank you for being our perfect Father. And I pray that as somebody's just watching this today, that they would trust for the first time. They would conclude for the first time that the thing that they need most is something that they can have in you through Jesus Christ. And I pray this, Jesus, in your name. Amen.
I've carried a burden for too long on my own. I wasn't created to bear it alone. I hear your invitation to let it all go. I see it now, I'm
Thank you for joining us. You made it to the end. And if it's your first time and you haven't gone to radius.church, do that now because you haven't been listening. That way we can keep in touch with you. Not me, though, somebody else. Also, that free Starbucks card. Next week's message, we highlight the differences between Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, and others, but not Elron, so don't get your hopes up. Too close to home for me anyways. Again, invite those people in your radius of influence who need to hear what God has to say about this topic. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so we can make it to trending on YouTube. That'd be awesome. It helps us reach more people, and no matter where you are at, Radius is here for you because it's the internet, and it's like 7-Eleven. It never closes. So, see you next week, Radius.